My dog is 16 years old. She's in reasonable health, fair bit of arthritis, slowly going deaf/a little night blind, but she sees her vet regularly, and they're happy enough with the state of her health to allow her to continue her slow amble into her twilight years, so all is well there. Due to the aforementioned arthritis, she has a special orthopedic dog bed that's supposed to give her old body all the support she needs to remain comfy. She seems happy with it, but we did notice that as she can't climb onto the couch anymore, she doesn't get to just chill with us as much. This is kinda sad, especially when she's spent her whole life being as close to us as possible when we're at home. She's a Kelpie mix, so while she's not a huge dog, she's not really a lap dog either. Until one day a couple months ago I realized if I sat in the recliner with her and leaned the recliner all the way back, she could lay across my stomach and chest and become a lap dog. Naturally I tried this out, and she loved it. It quickly becomes a new routine. Every couple of nights, after she's had her last wee before bed, we have some time on the recliner with her eventually falling asleep on my shoulder. Having some time off from work over Christmas, New Year's I didn't have to worry about my own bedtime as much, and could spend most nights having some cuddle time and for longer. As she's now 2 or 3 years past her life expectancy at this point, I don't mind too much. I suspect these will be moments I treasure once she finally does make her final trot over to the big dog park in the sky. Tonight though, I thought I'd spend some time taking the last of our Christmas ornaments down, tidying up, doing a few extra chores before bed instead. And I tried, until I heard the whining. I knew she didn't need anything. At this point, she had her dinner, had after-dinner garden strolls, been out for a wee, had an after-dinner snack of the kibble she left over from dinner, had a last-minute pee break. She should have been happy to peacefully drift off to sleep. And then I realized. She'd come to have expectations. And by deciding to knock a few things off my to-do list instead, I was not meeting those expectations. So I am now typing this on my phone while a geriatric dog softly snores on my shoulder. TL, Doctor, in making memories with my elderly dog, I accidentally lock myself into an expectation that I will spend upwards of 30 minutes every night letting her fall asleep on me, or else have to listen to her sing the piteous song of her people in ever-increasing levels of volume and drama. ETA dog tax www.reddit.com web link. Update, thank you all for your comments. I woke up and loved reading the stories about your senior pets or pets that have passed, and I hope my very firmly tongue-in-cheek exasperation at creating a new ritual that revolves around my dog has brought back happy memories only. For everyone that was disappointed that my original post wasn't in actual FU, this update is for you. I started reading some of the comments last night, while letting her stay on top of me a bit longer than usual. I must have dozed off a little at one point, and as I'm no longer a spring chicken myself, sleeping on the recliner with the dog on top of me all night didn't strike me as a good idea. So I scoop a now sleep-drunk and floppy canine up, and put her in her own bed. She stirs enough to look up at me with those big brown eyes, melting my heart again just like she did at the shelter almost 16 years ago. And then I realize. See, as an old lady, she's usually pretty good about telling us when she needs a wee, but like a lot of old people, she leaks sometimes, especially when she's dead asleep. And oh boy, has she gotten nice and relaxed with an extended cuddle session and snooze. At least I went to bed feeling fresh after that 3 a.m. shower. Update TL, Doctor, vindication for the people that thought this was just a wholesome post for easy karma. She relaxed too hard and she peed on me a little. Almost 2 weeks ago, I repeatedly shot my boss in the head at a paintball event with some colleagues from work. If you haven't read that post, I've copied it here, https://www.reddit.com/r/typhus/comments/z-v-tier/typhu /shooting /my /boss /the /he d/?_source equals share and _medium equals web2x and context equals 3 https://www.reddit.com/r/typhus/comments/z-v_/typhus_by__repeatedly_my_s_r/typhus equals share and medium equals web2x and context equals 3. Last week, I noticed my boss scheduled a meeting for everyone that went paintballing that day. Today was that meeting. I was anxious all day and barely got any work done. I kept reading comments back to myself about how he is going to recognize my voice, or that he had a mental breakdown of some kind and that I irresponsibly failed to notice before shooting another 4 paintballs straight at his head. It didn't help that people in the office were talking about how our line manager cried at paintballing. All I added to the conversation were lines like, "Oh yeah, I saw that after the game, what happened? And wow, that's crazy." It became clear that nobody really knew what happened. Most people thought that he fell and banged his head really bad or something. Everyone knew he cried, even people that didn't go paintballing, but nobody actually knew what happened. Only I knew he didn't hit his head. He just took the same shot over and over to the exact same spot. He didn't call his hit and then cried afterwards. That's all that happened. Once we were set and settled in the conference room, the boss made it clear that he didn't want anyone in the office discussing out-of-work activities during working hours. Word must have gotten round that his crying was a topic of conversation. He said he is fine, nothing serious, and then said something that took every inch of my composure not to react. I don't know if I can quote him word for word, but he said something like this. I raised my hand and was running back to base, and that's when I slipped in the mud and hit my head against a barrel. When he said those words, I felt like it was a Mexican standoff. He glanced around the room, looking for a reaction, but I didn't give him one. Internally though I was like, what in the actual fuck are you on about? I literally watched the paintballs one by one splat off the top of your head, over and over before you got walked out of the game by a marshal. Also, it was the top of your head that was sore. Now unless you dived like a dolphin into the barrel head first, I don't see how that would be the part of your body that got injured if you actually slipped and hit something. Externally though, my face tried to mirror the rest of the room, and was a mixture of compassion and surprise. Shout out to all of you that commented that I should practice the shocked Pikachu face. That was literally what I went for. He still doesn't know who did it. Everyone else believes his story. I'm not sure whether I should let it go or call him out on it. TL, Dr. Boss lied about why he cried after I shot him over and over in the head. I am not sure what to do. Edit 1. My boss has sent out a late work email informing our team he will be taking the rest of the week off to recover a little more. In response, my colleagues in our group chat have decided that we should pool some money together to buy him a get-well-soon gift and treat him to a work lunch next week when he is back. If anything interesting happens at that lunch, I'll be sure to post an update. So some context first. My mother cheated on my dad with stepfather over 10 years ago and they have been married for 7 years now. I never really gave my stepfather a chance because of that. I wasn't rude or a jerk to him, I just didn't want to go and do things with him because I felt like he ruined my parents' marriage. Anyway, I started riding motorcycles about 6 months ago and he started riding them too, and I thought it was odd because he never talked about it before. Him and I have gone on a couple of rides together now and it never hit me till now that he tried so hard to do stuff with me because he never had a son of his own. He has 4 daughters and then me, his stepson, who was just blowing him off for years. I can't believe I never realized that till today. I feel like such a jerk and that I wasted all that time with him. I hope he can forgive me someday. Sorry I'm on mobile. TL, doctor never gave stepfather a chance. Realized today he tried so hard to have a relationship with me because he never had a son and he saw me as a son. I hope it's not too late to fix. Update. Wow, there are so many mixed comments here, some saying I've matured and am ready to forgive him and others that say screw him, he ruined your family. He did know that my mom was married and I won't forget what he did to my family. But that was also 10 years ago. Both of my parents are doing very good and I'm ready to move on from that finally. He has been a good father to his 4 daughters. I just never realized he's always treated me the same way he treats them and the way my father still treats me. It's going to be a long road, but I am finally going to start opening up to him a little more. He is not my father and will never be my father. But he has always been there for me and I never cared. Tifu by completely misunderstanding male anatomy. This happened to me, 25F, yesterday. My male partner had made some kind of movement to put his little hanging friends in a bad position. After making some loud noises and readjusting, he said something along the lines of, "You'd think I'd know how to handle them, they've been hanging for 30 years. Well, me, thinking I was very clever, said, well, only really since high school. When did yours drop? He burst out laughing and I still didn't understand because I had always heard of it being referred to as a male's balls dropping. FYI, that does not happen, and apparently men find the idea of them just popping out one day hilarious. I suddenly sympathize with the men who don't understand periods. I got about 5 minutes of straight laughter and am sure he will bring this up many times in the years to come. TL doctor, I thought men's testicles were inside the body and dropped out during puberty. They don't. Tifu over the last few years, after a pretty traumatic event, started to drink heavily. I am not the same person my wife met and fell in love with. I've had the plan to begin my path to an alcohol-free life in 2023. But today happened. I had a stressful morning. I had a drink. Then I went to the group I'm participating in to become alcohol-free in 2023. The one drink I had this AM, I beat myself up about and went to group 4, was the landslide. I was feeling defeated and hopeless. Unbeknownst to her, it was only one ... and the group helped me not go for number 2. However, when she got home, she wanted to chat about something ... related to my drinking. Last week, I got super defensive and said things I shouldn't have. After 14 years, she's now driving back to our hometown and won't talk to me. Her last text was, "I'm glad you plan to work on yourself, but maybe in a year, the universe and you will be in a better place to be together." Today was the day I fucked up. I waited too long and expected too much. Damn it. TL, doctor, I waited too long for help.